Hello everyone and welcome back to LewisNews, your #1 YouTube channel for all types of Spider-Man news. If you are new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop with everything Spider-Man, from the movies, the games, the cartoons, Disney Plus, absolutely everything. With that being said, let's get straight into today's news. So today we have another rumor coming from spider culture once again. Now, once again, like I do say about all these type of things, make sure to take rumors with a grain of salt because these might be true, these might be not true, and the way you can really gauge if a rumor is true or not or has any sense of validation behind it is by how many people start reporting on it. But at this moment in time, spider culture are the only people that have come out and said this, and they have reported this on Twitter. And they have said, Marvel has no immediate plans on using Green Goblin or Dr. Octopus in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In other words, expect new villains. Now, this is something that we kind of expected, but also we kind of didn't expect at the same time. Now, what I mean by this is that Marvel Studios has been very keen on using new villains from Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery in the MCU. Most notably, Vulture and Mysterio, who had never been villains on the big screen before in Spider-Man movies. They were used in Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, respectively. And even though No Way Home brought back a bunch of villains we've already seen before, and not just that, they brought back the original actors as well, that was a culmination movie, that was a Spider-Verse event film, so that doesn't really count. But going forward in the next trilogy of Spider-Man movies inside the MCU, they are not going to be using villains that we've already seen before. So expect to see villains, for example, like Hobgoblin, since that Ned Leeds connection is already there. Or expect to see Black Cat, as her character would fit the story of Tom Holland's Spider-Man going forward very, very well. But do not expect characters like Norman Osborn. Now, the debate on Norman Osborn has been quite large ever since No Way Home came out. There have been a few rumors, but mostly it's just been fan speculation that Norman Osborn would be one of the main villains going into the next MCU Spider-Man trilogy. And although Norman Osborn would work really, really well for that trilogy, considering Spider-Man would then already have a pre-established connection with a different version of Norman Osborn, which would then make the relationship between the Norman of the MCU and Tom Holland's Peter Parker very, very intense, it doesn't seem like they will be using him because Norman Osborn has already been a key player in a Spider-Man movie beforehand. On one hand, I am actually really excited if this is to be true, because this means we're going to be getting new villains, and there's even room there for Scorpion to be the main villain, since he was set up at the end of Homecoming and that was never even paid off. So going into MCU Spider-Man 4, they could even use someone like Scorpion. But just in general, I'm excited that they're going to be using new villains that we haven't actually seen before. But then again, introducing the MCU version of Norman Osborn would create a very powerful dynamic going forward in the next trilogy. Especially, like I said earlier in the video, with the relationship that would then create with Peter Parker. Because then obviously Peter would be in two minds, like, you don't want this version of Norman to become evil like the last one, but also this is the man that killed your aunt, you don't want to associate yourself with them. And maybe they could put Tom Holland's Peter Parker in some kind of a difficult situation where he's slowly and consistently growing closer to Norman, but also wants to push him away because he knows that at some point down the line he could become the Green Goblin. And then you could have an interesting story where it's Peter's responsibility to stop Norman from becoming the Green Goblin. And then obviously inevitably he will fail, which would then result in a massive final battle between the Green Goblin and Spider-Man, which would be a perfect way to cap off the next MCU Spider-Man trilogy. But obviously, if this rumor is to be true and they are not going to be using villains that we have seen before, in particular Green Goblin and Doc Ock, as this leak does suggest, then we're definitely not going to be seeing Norman anywhere in the near future. I mean, at some point, maybe really, really far down the line, maybe when Miles Morales eventually takes up the reins of Spider-Man in the MCU, but obviously that's very, very far in the future, and if they're not willing to use Norman now, I doubt they ever will. But that is it for the news today. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to like on it, and also make sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date with all types of Spider-Man news. This is your #1 YouTube channel for all types of Spider-Man leaks, rumors, news, trailers, breakdowns, everything. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the bell. Let's get to 500 subscribers. You know what? Yeah, let's set that as the goal. 500 subscribers. Let's see if we can get there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and peace.